What is up, base heads? You know who this is and who this bees. OG Soda Pop Kid coming to you direct. Down here in the unit, just doing a little tutorial, base head tutorial, basically, on some changes I'm about to make in here before I make them, and then do a video on that. Just to let you guys know, I am making some changes, man, okay? Those transpose there, those blue fins, those voltage regulators, I'm getting ready to get rid of them. I just ordered the Brand X ones, the Brand X voltage regulators, and I ordered 2 of them like 3 days ago, and I'm waiting for them to get here. And I've been technically watching videos on them on YouTube. That B-Ray 20 guy out there in Long Beach, California, you know what I mean, because he was explaining how you hook everything up, and then I watched a Jonathan Patrick video from 4 years ago on how you hook those things up, so when I get them, I'll know what to do with them, okay? And I'm going to have one on each side. Now those regulators can run 4 alternators at one time, okay? And I'm going to get asked, and before I get asked, okay, well, why don't you just get one of them and put all 4 alternators on them? Well, it's because I have 2 alternators on this side of the engine and 2 on that side of the engine, and I don't want to be jumping wires all the way across the engine to the other alternators. I mean, I want a uniform, so I want one to run 2 and one to run these 2. Okay, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? So it's uniform, and the wires are short runs and not long jumps across the engine. So I ordered 2 of them. Okay, and I can easily, in that case, if I did have 8 alternators, you know what I mean? I would have 2 more slots in each one of the regulators if you ever saw them, because there's slots. So if there's 2, if you run 2 alternators on one, there's 2 more slots left in the regulator for 2 more alternators on each side. So if I did want to run more alternators, those regulators would be able to run more alternators than just 2 on each side. They'd be able to run 8 altogether, technically. And not that I would have 8 alternators in this vehicle, even though I could probably fit that many in here, or I probably could fit 2 more alternators in there, probably, on one side. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm going with them, so I won't have to have so much in here, man. I can, you know what I mean, there'd be more space in here. What I would do is, you see I got a 12-volt relay on each one of them. It's a 40-amp relay on each one of these, on each side. But I could be able to go back to my 80-amp Super Duties. Well, I would have one on each side of the engine, and I could just put one of them on each one of these. You know what I mean? And it's easier technically to use these. I could just be using them, and I was using just them 2, one on each side actually, to run all of this, is what I was doing. But I went back to those plug-in regulators, thinking that if I gave each one of these regulators their own relay, that they would run better. I'm always testing and stuff like that. I'm always testing. But not too long ago, or even before I did what I'm about to tell you, this alternator right here, is that technically a rebuilt alternator, like brand new alternator, this one. And before I even got that, because I have another backup, and I actually have 2 more backups. I'm waiting for Tony to repair one of the alternators I took back. So I'm going to actually have 2 backups. I have one backup sitting down over here, you know what I mean, with the bigger case, a Dodge 220s. But anyway, I was having a problem, and I don't know why this problem started like a couple of summers ago, with an alternator getting hot here, real hot, quick, like firing up the car. It starts getting hot when you fire up the car from a cold start. It would hot between them 2, and then one would hot between these 2. But It's just been this one getting hot, and this is actually a new alternator. And this, I don't believe it's the actual alternators that's doing it. Something's going on somewhere else. A mechanic had told me, and this could be true, it could not be true, that one of the alternators could be getting more tension. Like this can be getting more tension because of how the runs are, and this one can be getting more tension. But if I take that pulley and move it over to this side, this may get hot. But it's hard for me to believe that because the actual, when I designed this alternator bracket, I actually designed it like I told some of y'all, but I had a friend weld it together, but I designed it and cut out all the holes and did all that. The actual hole that these pulleys actually go is like down there, and it's like right in the middle where it's equal. So what I did is I put them back there, and then I have another belt, a Gates, a high definition green belt. And I put it down there, and that alternator still got hot. It was equally tension. The tension was equal. And then when I watch all these car audio videos on YouTube, you know what I mean, and they show their alternator setups, a lot of them guys' alternator setups are, the belt is real long, coming from one alternator, real close, going to other alternators and all that. And I don't know if they get that same problem with an alternator getting hot quick. Like I said, as fast as I can fire up the car, this alternator starts getting hot. And this one, so I don't have a fan on this one, and sometimes it'll hop to that one and it'll do it on that one. So I figured, what I figured is maybe getting them regulators and having two alternators. Now the B-Ray 20, what's his name, Latrell Marquise or something like that might be, he was mentioned in the video that one of his Autotech engineering alternators, one was pulling more current than the other one. One was pulling like 15.8 volts and one was pulling 15.9. And that one got hotter than the other. You know what I mean? As he was showing you how to connect. And I figured, well, maybe that might stop that issue if you got two alternators running on one regulator. Maybe that might stop the issue. Because I didn't always have this issue. And those studs that I made right there, they're aluminum studs. You see how I made them? Maybe not enough current is getting to them or something like that. Or maybe, you know what I mean? So what I did is I said, let me just do something else. Like a couple years ago I did that. I wanted to do my own the way I wanted to do it. And the way I did that, maybe I'm not getting enough current. So what am I looking for? So up here, I'll tell you what I ordered as soon as I find them. I ordered some studs, just to stud some ill customs that I ordered. Let me see if I can find them real quick. I recently just put them away. That's what I did. I put the studs away. That's what I did. And I still got some of these. This is what I was going to do, but they look a little different. I have one. I ordered some more of them, but let me get these. Let me get these. These here. Okay. I got these. I'm surprised I still got extra ones. I'm surprised. Those are for the 4. I got some for the 2 too. The way I wired up. Okay, here goes a 2. One with just 2. These here. Right here. Okay. I figured if I get these, current may go through these better than they're going through them. To make a long story short. Alright. I figured the current may go through these better. But I didn't order more of these ones right here. I ordered them up the other ones, man. Nevertheless. I figured that these would work better. Probably. And that, in between the regulators and these, it would, you know what I mean, probably do a better job. You know what I mean? But I was basically wanting to know how to hook up those regulators when I get them. There'll just be one there, one spot, and I can let them go and put my 80 amp Super Duty right back there on the one and one over there, instead of going through all of this. If you understand where I'm coming from. All right. So that's that. Now hopefully that may work, because there's no reason why I should be doing all of that. But anyway, put this back. I actually have one of the actual ones. Hold on, man. Let me look up here, people. Let me look up here. So I got all these extra little higgy-majigs up here. You know, I just got stuff. I got stuff, bro. Oh, here it is. Here it is, right here. These ones. See this? But I'm getting the ones that got the screw downs in them, not the ones you stick in the hole. I got the ones that have the screws up here to keep, because I got these studs right here. All right, so I got the ones just like this, and this will stretch this over some more too. It's longer. They give you some, yeah, see? And I figured, you know, these are thicker and yada, yada, yada. The current may get through these better. This is what I was looking for. I had it sitting right up here. And I only had one of those left, because there's my boy Sean Russell, you know, he, like I said, he helped me load those big ass heavy speakers, man. So I took care of him. He had some mistakes done on his wiring in there, and I went in there and I helped him out. Okay, I helped him out. So put that back. So that's that. All right, and I figured maybe that might help the current, because I can't understand why one alternator is getting hot like that. And then I thought about getting some fans and making a bracket from down there and making it come up. You know, like getting my boy, getting some metal and getting my boy Ben Hank to weld me a piece that comes up here and have a fan. Have a fan that has a whole lot of, blows a whole lot of air in front of each one. And just go across here. Then it'd be easy to remove them if I need to get to where I need to get to. Get what I'm saying? All right. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for them what do you call those blocks to get in, those alternator blocks to get in, and I'm waiting for my regulators to get in, and I'm gonna be on top of it real quick when they do. So I'm hoping that they get here next week. I did tell y'all there's some work I gotta do on this car, bro. There's some stuff I'm planning on making a whole nother dashboard. A better dashboard, a stronger dashboard, and other stuff I'm planning on doing, and my scores will go up. There's some air leaks that I need to get fixed. You know what I mean? I know I need to get them fixed. I'm gonna get all this stuff done I need to knock out. Okay? Let's get back here. And I did explain to y'all that them subs, so I just, there goes some of those studs I got right there. Those are the four hole ones I got hopping to my positives and negatives, and I like those. Okay, but technically, what I was explaining to y'all was, since I dropped down to these 6, I had 9 of these last season. 9 of these Stetson Bravo based flex impedance 8Ks, 1 ohm half ohm stable. And I do have them running at a half ohm. They're actually running at 0.5, not 0.6. Because those them fluke meters will tell you the actual truth on what's going on. They're true reading. Okay? And they're at a half ohm. Each one of them is at 0.5. Each one of these. And now they're just 6. I got 190 amp hour C-Max down there. That there is a XSHF 1415 IntelliCharger. You know what I mean? This thing has been my best friend, that IntelliCharger right there. Because when that Cmax drops down into the 14s, that turns itself on, takes it up to like 16.8.83, and then shuts itself off. And these Stetsons like to be ran at 15.5 instead of 17, like they say they're 17 volt capable. But I found out last season they're not 17 volt capable, because I usually would drive around at 16.2 volts and bang at 16.2 volts. But when I get into competition and I do a full tilt blast, I would hurt one of them doing full tilt blast, and was wondering why I was hurting one of them. Okay, because Terra M MDAKs, I had them running at 16 volts all day, every day, up and down the street. Then I found out from Lucas, from Brazilian Sounds, that, you know, I wasn't the only one that was having that issue. All right, so he had told me, well, some chip they had put in these or whatever. I can't even explain all of that. Technically, they'll do their power at 15.5 volts, and we all don't know why did they say they were 17 volt capable, because that's the reason why I brought the small ones as well. Because if I was running these at 16 volts and the little ones on the door speakers couldn't take 16 volts, then there would be a problem. So these are 17 volt capable, as they were saying as well. That's why I brought these little ones. And they are beasts, they are powerful. Don't get it twisted. I got 9,700 watts on a blast last Sunday out of these. 9,700, almost 10K out of these amps, and nothing happened, no clip lights or nothing. So that's how much I threw into each one of those Platinum V2 15s I got in there. I threw 9,700 watts on a burp there on them, and they're 2,500 watts RMS, 5,000 watts max. I technically almost gave them 5,000 watts more burping on them. 5,000 watts more. And they survived it. Nothing's happening at this point. But I would have seen a better score. The first blast that I did, I burped them at my street beating volume. I burped them at volume 30 driving up and down the street. Just trying to see what I would hit, what score I would hit on my up and down the street volume. Then I turned it up to what I burp it at. These things are set. Right now, reset them. They were at 105.8 AC volts. Now they're at 106. I got them at 106.5. I turned them up. Okay. At the first blast, they did 9,700. The second blast, they only did 9,100 because I had already blasted at them the first time. If I would have been turned up to 35, 35 is where I have them set at clip to 35. That's just for burping. That's, I don't street beat at that, because when I get to 30, 30 is like my sweet spot in street beating. So if I do park and pound, I do park and pound at volume 30. That's the sweet spot for driving up and down the street. That's where the speakers get their loudest without sounding like they're getting too much thrown at them. Okay? So when I turned it up to 35 on the second burp, I did a 62.23. So technically, there's more in it than that. Some of the watts was taken away when I did the first burst. If I would have burst a 9,700 watt on the first, I probably would have got maybe a higher 62, I'm thinking, in my mind. But other people think that I would have actually got a 63, but I think I would have just got a pretty decent higher 62. Because I did get beat by a guy named Scott Ivory that has a big van with 915s. There's 915s in the fourth order. And he did a 63.5. If I would have still had those 912s in here and the 9 amps, I would have beat him easy. Because remember, last year I did a 163.79 with the 912s. And they wasn't even broken in yet. But I hurt an amp. See what I'm saying? But I was doing 16 volts. I was hitting them at 16 volts. You know what I mean? And I heard an amp. I heard an amp twice. The first time I burped with the 912s, before I did a 63.79, I did a 162.93. Me and Mike Mack at the same before the weather started getting warm. And then when they broke in a little bit more, when I went to a show, then it jumped up to a 63.79 once I opened up the door, my driver's side door. And they would have gotten louder and broken more over the summer, but I didn't do no more burps after that. See where I'm at? After I heard the ants a couple of times burping, I just did street beating competitions. I just did the street beating. I didn't do no more burping because I was scared of hurting the amps. And technically, with 9 amps, I had 9 chances to take amps back to have them replaced for free. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'm not going to keep going through that. And right now, I got 2 extras. I sold one and didn't want to sell one, but once again, to my boy Sean Russell for helping me, I sold him an amp for a good price. I got 2 backups. No, I'm not selling them. I already told y'all that. In case something happens to these, I don't want that to happen, then I'm forced to go buy a whole new amplifier. I'm not dealing with that. All right, so, yeah, I got 9,700. So the next competition is May 17th, back out here at Memorial Park, before the flyer even gets put up. And I'm gonna, and I turn these up, okay, and then I'm gonna see what I do. Now I do have a SSA meter at the house. And I may come down here, and it's not inside of here, it's over in this corner I like to go into, and do a couple blasts and do some testing. That's what I could do, and find out what I'm really gonna be doing before I even get there, which I may do. Sometimes I like to surprise myself sometimes. Before I get, I'm going to try to get comfortable. I'm trying to get comfortable with those subs and these amps. I'm trying to get comfortable. And as far as the teams, y'all, I talked to Robbie and them about the teams, and the problems they're having with the teams, they're in the process of having them fixed. They're going to go to a carbon cone. They said the coil was too heavy. They're going to fix that. And whatever else we're going to fix on the teams. And they said that, you know, because I was getting ready to go to the teams because the teams can handle more power. That's the reason why I was going to jump to them, but they're going to have the same cutouts and everything else as well. And they're 135 pounds. So they told me, they was like, fall back, don't try to get them right now. Wait until we fix those issues. And I may make that move to go to the teams once the issues are fixed. Okay, and it's going to take 3 of us to put them 135-pound speakers in. If they fit into the same holes, and they change that mounting ring that's on them and make them the same as what's on the platinums and that. And they do this, and them platinums, the cutouts are 14 and 5/16 cutout. I had to cut out some circles. That 14 and 23, 63s, I don't know what the hell that is. They're 14 and 5/16 snug, no move. Okay, so if those teams have got the same exact cutouts, then I probably will go to them once they redo them. I'm just letting y'all know. I've seen them things get down on YouTube. I don't know, but people said they were having problems. I see some guys get down with them on YouTube. I seen them doing the flat wall, run them things at 17 hertz, man, and they were breathing. They had an MDAK on each one. It was 415s. Them things was breathing at 17 hertz. And I told Robbie and them about it, and they was like, seriously? I was like, yeah, but some people was having issues with them. And, you know, yada, yada, yada. But the Platinum V2s, I heard there was some issues with them with the tensile leads. Maybe they probably, I heard they got fixed or something. I haven't had an issue with them yet. Like I said, I put damn near 10 cans to them on a burp. You know what I mean? At volume 30. You know, and did 4,200 watts in parking pound. I told y'all that. When I did my parking pound run, and I was clamping it. I had them on clamp, and they said they were doing 4,200 watts when they're 2,500 watts RMS. Okay, just saying. All right, so, yeah, that's what I'm on. You know, I wanted to have this dashboard redone before May when I get the energy to do it, to tear this out and get another one put in there. There's some stuff I'm going to do to get gangs. Alright, there's some stuff I'm going to do to get gangs. I will get gangs for what I'm planning on doing. You know what I mean? Just to let everybody know, and like I said before, if I ever get my hands on a truck, the first thing I will do is a 4th order band pass. Hoping to be, because there's some 4th and 6th order band passes out there that they got more speakers than me and everything, and I'm louder than them with a flat wall. So that's all up in the air. If I feel that a flat wall is the easiest thing to build with a lot more speakers and amps, with the room to do it, then I may make my choice on what I'm going to do. But y'all heard at the beginning of this video, what I'm planning. And, you know, yada, 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 man. So, y'all could always post up comments and stuff like that. I would figure the cast to know more would say more. But I see nowadays, nobody really tries to help anybody no more, because this is, you know, too much competition out there and all that. Now, I get it, but I be trying to help people, but I may back out of that too. I may back out of that, trying to help people, man, because I'm dealing with an issue with me helping people, but people don't help me. As soon as I get pissed off about it, I get accused of not being a Christian. I don't like when people do that. But where in the Bible that says that we're not allowed to get mad and getting mad is a sin? Y'all need to do more studying, bro. I'm serious. When I get mad at somebody, man, you didn't used to get mad at me. I've always gotten mad at people when I felt insulted or disrespected. Nobody likes being disrespected and insulted. Nobody likes being used as a doormat. Nobody. And I don't either. As soon as I get mad, somebody that claims to be a Christian that don't read the Bible at all, don't even got no knowledge and nothing in the Bible, they're just claiming to be a Christian, want to come and try to correct me. That pisses me off too. It's a worldwide of pissing me off, man. I have a bad temper. I've had a bad temper ever since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I don't go around using people and mistreating people, and I don't want it done to me. Plain and simple. And a lot of y'all will agree. I don't like that being done to me. I treat people the way I want to be treated. You mistreat me, then I'll flip. It's going to be Flip City. Period. Period. And turning the other cheek don't mean let somebody slap you all in the face and you don't do anything. You go crying to God. If you put your hands on me, man, there's going to be problems. I'm going to prison. Period. I'm going to end it with that. But anyway, I was getting off the track with that. Just like y'all, giving y'all a tad bit of Christian knowledge. I'm getting sick of Christians thinking they're better than other Christians anyway because they got more knowledge. That don't mean nothing. Uh-oh, this is coming loose. I'm going to have to tell the maintenance guy. Maintenance guy. Hey, maintenance guy. Yeah. But anyway, just some insight, y'all. This video's a little longer than I wanted it to be. It's your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid. Coming to you direct. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. People, I'm going to post this as soon as I get back to the shop. Peace.